6 years, Mike. 6 whole years. And yet, nothing. Ada sat on the couch, wiping her tears with the edge of her wrapper. Mike knelt beside her, rubbing her back gently. Ada, please don't cry again. God will do it. We just have to keep believing. Ada looked at him with tired eyes. Mike, we have tried. We've gone to the best hospitals in Lagos, Ibadan, and even Abuja. We've done tests, drank bitter herbs, sowed seeds, offerings, rolled on prayer ministry, and even went to that spiritual man in Port Harcourt. Yet, nothing. Mike sighed and stood up. You are right, but we can't give up. Maybe we are looking in the wrong places. They lived in a beautiful duplex in Enugu. Ada was a successful fashion designer with 2 boutiques in town. Mike owned a construction firm. They had everything money could buy. Cars, staffs, even vacations abroad. But the house was always quiet. No sounds of little feet. No cries. No laughter of a child. Church members whispered. Relatives were already tired of asking when the baby was coming. Ada's friends stopped inviting her to their children's birthdays. It became lonely and heavy. One evening, as they were eating silently at the dining table, Mike dropped his spoon. Ada, what if we adopt a child? Ada's eye widened. Adopt? Like go and carry another woman's child? Yes, Mike replied slowly. A child that we can love. A child that can call us mommy and daddy. Maybe that's what God wants us to do. Ada thought about it for a while, then nodded. Let's do it. Let's adopt. 3 months later, they brought home a small, bright-eyed boy from an orphanage. He was just 3 years old and had no relatives. Ada held him tightly as they walked into the house. Welcome home, Favor. They named him Favor because they believed he brought favor to their home. From that day, the house changed. Ada decorated a colorful room for him. They hired a nanny just for him. Favor had everything: clothes, toys, a tablet, even his own car seats. He started school immediately at one of the best schools in the area. He called them mommy and daddy without struggle, and Ada's heart warmed every time she heard it. 6 months later, something miraculous happened. Ada woke up one morning feeling dizzy and weak. She thought it was malaria, but decided to run a test. The pregnancy test kit showed 2 lines. Mike! Mike! She screamed. Mike rushed in from the living room. Ada, are you okay? What happened? She held up the stick, crying. Mike, I'm pregnant. Mike stared at her, then grabbed her and spun her around. He shouted so loud the gateman ran in to check if there was a problem. Mike didn't care. He called his family. He called the pastor. He even went online to announce it. That weekend, he threw a party at their compound. The whole street was blocked with canopies and loud music. Neighbors came with gifts. Ada glowed with happiness. This child will be called Wealth, Mike said at the party, because he will bring wealth, joy, and everything good to us. The pregnancy was celebrated every step of the way. Every scam photo was framed. Every kick was a reason for Thanksgiving. Favor still got attention, but slowly things started to shift. As the baby bump grew, Ada became more and more protective of herself. She would shout at the nanny if she thought the house was noisy. Sometimes, Favor would walk to Ada with a drawing in his hands, but she would wave him off, too tired or too focused on the baby growing inside her. One day, Favor fell sick. The nanny took him to the clinic, but Ada didn't follow. She was on bed rest and said, "Let him go. I can't stress myself now. This pregnancy is delicate." Mike too was changing. His attention was more on Ada and the coming child. They still provided for Favour, but the love was no longer as warm as it was when he first came. Birthday parties stopped, bedtime stories stopped, no more hugs and kisses. Then came the delivery day. Mike drove Ada to one of the most expensive hospitals in the East. The labor was long, but when the baby cried for the first time, Ada broke down in tears. "He is here, Mike. Our son is here." Mike kissed her forehead. "Our wealth has finally arrived. Thank you, Ada." Back at home, a naming ceremony that could pass for a wedding was held. Guests ate and drank. Music blasted. They printed souvenirs with the baby's name and gave out food packs to the poor in the streets. The house became livelier, but as joy multiplied for some, it slowly drained for Favour. He stood in a corner during the ceremony, dressed neatly but forgotten. He watched the smiles, the praises, the attention, all centered around the new baby. He looked at his nanny and whispered, "Auntie Joy, will they still love me?" Auntie Joy didn't know what to say. She hugged him tightly. "I love you, Favour. Don't ever forget that." From that day, Favour's world would never be the same again. From the moment wealth came into the house, things began to change, slowly, like rain dripping into a bucket until it overflows. At first, it was small things. When visitors came to the house, Ada would proudly carry wealth and introduce him. "This is my miracle baby, my only child. God really showed me mercy." Favour would stand nearby, quiet. If anyone asked about him, Ada would simply say, "Oh, he's the one we adopted. He's staying with us." At night, when Favour ran to show Ada his homeworks, she would say, "Favour, I'm putting baby wealth to sleep." The new nanny, employed just for wealth, didn't touch anything related to Favour. Soon, the house chores started falling on Favour. It started with picking up toys, then washing plates, then sweeping the compound. "Favour, come and wash wealth feeding bottles." "Favour, go and iron wealth clothes for church." He was just a child, but he did it all. One Saturday afternoon, the two boys were playing in the living room. Favour had a toy car he got on his last birthday before the baby was born. Wealth grabbed it and refused to return it. "Give it back, Wealth, it's mine," Favour said calmly. Wealth screamed, a loud, sharp cry. Ada rushed out from the kitchen. "What is it? What happened?" Wealth pointed. "He said I should drop the car, but I like it." Without asking more questions, Ada grabbed Favour by the ear. "Are you mad? Is it by force to play with your toy? Don't ever try to raise your voice at my son again. You hear me?" Favour's eyes welled with tears. "But mommy," "Don't call me mommy. You are not more important than my child. Next time you do this, I will flog you till you pee yourself." From that day, Favour stopped talking back. He quietly did what he was told. He cleaned, washed, fetched water, and stayed out of the way. Meanwhile, Wealth grew up pampered like an egg. If a house help scolded him for messing up, Ada would fire that staff the next day. "Don't shout on my child. He's my only son. Anything happens to him, I will not forgive myself." Wealth took advantage. He didn't do chores. He didn't share. He would break things and blame the help. He would insult the gateman. Everyone tiptoed around him. In school, it was the same. Ada told the teachers, "Please, he is very sensitive. Don't shout at him. Don't beat him. Just report him to me." Wealth stopped doing assignments. He slept in class. He insulted teachers. Still, no punishment came. Favour, on the other hand, was always quiet in school. He would sometimes beg his teachers for old notebooks. His school shoes had holes on them. One day, he approached Mike shyly. "Daddy, please, my school shoes are torn. Can I get a new one?" Mike frowned. "Didn't you just buy for you last year? Be managing it for now. You know things are hard." But that same week, They bought Wealth new designer sneakers worth 50,000 naira. Even when exam time came, Ada would say, "Let Favour read his book. He's the smart one. But Wealth must pass. Abeg, let him copy if he has to." The boys grew older. Favour worked hard. He read with torchlight. He passed WAEC in one sitting. He got admission to study medicine. Wealth barely passed his JAMB. He got into university through influence. But in school, he joined courts. He fought, smoked, partied, and lived like a king. His name spread, not for good. He was the most feared student on campus. One day, news broke. Most notorious cultists arrested in Edo State. It was Wealth. Ada fainted when she saw the news. Wealth's life after school was nothing but trouble. After he was expelled for fighting and cheating, he didn't care anymore. He joined a notorious cult group and quickly became known for his violence and terror. The young man, who was once pampered and spoiled by Ada, was now one of the most wanted criminals in the country. Everywhere, the police searched for him. Stories spread about his armed robberies, his cruelty, and how he lived outside the law. People feared him. His mother, Ada, tried to use her money and influence to protect him, but nothing worked. Wealth had become too wild, too dangerous. One day, the police finally caught him. Wealth was arrested and charged with armed robbery and many other crimes. The court sentenced him to death by shooting. The news shook Ada to the core. She was heartbroken, but still wanted to see her son one last time. When the day of his execution came, Ada was allowed to visit Wealth in prison. As she entered the cold room, she saw a man she barely recognized. His face was hardened by years of violence, but in his eyes there was pain and sadness. Wealth looked at his mother and started crying. "Mommy," he said in a low voice, "come closer. I want to tell you something." Ada stepped forward, confused but wanting to hear him. Wealth suddenly beat her hand on her left ear. Ada screamed and pulled back, shocked and in pain. He said, "This is because you did not raise me well. You spoilt me, and now this is the result." Ada held her ear, blush gushing and tears streaming down her face. She realized the deep damage her wrong choices had caused, the love she failed to give to Favour, and the wrong love she gave to Wealth had destroyed them both in different ways. The same day, Wealth was executed. Ada's heart broke into pieces, but she knew she deserved the punishment. After that painful day, Ada returned to Favour. She found him working in his small clinic in Lagos, helping patients with kindness and care. Favour welcomed her with open arms. "Mama, let us start again," he said softly. "We can be a family." Ada smiled, grateful for his forgiveness. "Thank you, my son. You are truly my blessing." They moved into a simple home, away from the painful memories of the past. Ada often looked at her ear in the mirror, remembering Wealth's last words, but also learning from them. Favour's life was full of hope and love. He continued to help people as a doctor, always remembering how important kindness and patience are. One afternoon, they took family pictures together, a new beginning. Ada laughed softly as Favour joked and smiled beside her. "God has been good to us," she said. "Yes, Mama, we have each other, and that is enough." Moral of the story: spoiling one child and neglecting another can destroy a family. True love is equal care, patience, and respect for all. If you don't teach your children well, they may grow lost, but forgiveness and hope can heal even the deepest wound. Thank you so much for watching this story to the end. I'm glad you did. You are the real MVP. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave your thoughts for me in the comment section. See you in the next video. Bye.